it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life and welcome to my week 9 pregnancy update. I feel like my symptoms this week have been kind of all over the place and I'm hoping that this is the beginning of the end of the bad stuff, but that still remains to be seen. So first up, I had 2 migraines this week. I think I've only had 1 migraine thus far. So this brings my migraine total to 3 so far this pregnancy. I had a migraine and then a really bad nausea day right after it, and then another migraine and then a really bad nausea day right after it. So I had 4 days in a row that were just absolutely miserable. I almost got to my breaking point where like, when is this gonna end? And after I have a couple of migraines in a row, I start getting to a darker place, like, why is this happening? And all these negative feelings rush in, and I remember all of the really hard times I had when I was a chronic migraine sufferer. During my really rough times in college, I would get migraines just back to back and basically be bedridden. I would miss most of my classes. One semester it got so bad I had to just withdraw for the semester because I could not make it to class, and you know, you can't participate if you're not in class. So it was just absolutely miserable, and when I start getting them, you know, back to back again, I remember those times. I remember how hard it was, and there were lots of times of me crying between those 4 days because I'm also a hormonal mess, which I happy cry at the drop of a hat now too, so it's not just sad crying. Hopefully, with any luck, I'm totally out of that little migraine spell now. And so the nausea this last week has been really, really bad. I usually have it, you know, all day long, but now I'm getting the extra dose of throwing up in the morning, every morning, really consistently. And I'm not sure how the light's gonna do. The sun's coming in and out, so we're just gonna kind of roll with it today. But I have basically had really traditional morning sickness where I'm throwing up in the mornings, and then throughout the day I'm still nauseous. But yesterday in the evening, before I started cooking dinner, I had this really nice spell of almost feeling normal. I cooked dinner, and by the time I was done cooking dinner, I wanted to eat the dinner. Like, the smells actually smelled good for the first time in weeks and weeks. And so I'm hoping that this is the beginning of coming out of it. So far, I can't remember a single smell that I'm just like, oh yes, and salivating over the smell of something. I was making barbacoa, so I had the chipotles and adobo sauce, and when it hit the grill pan, I was totally ready to eat dinner, and that's the first time that's happened basically the whole pregnancy. So I'm really hopeful that this is the beginning of starting to get rid of the nausea, even though it's totally sucked throwing up consistently every morning. It's actually Monday that I'm filming this. I ended up taking Olivia to school. I picked up the groceries. I just did the pickup order, so they just load it into your car. And while I was sitting there, I was getting a bag ready to go because I was about to throw up in the car, just waiting for them to give me my groceries. And thankfully I made it all the way home before I actually threw up. And then I threw up. I was fine for a little bit. Johnny was thankfully still home, so he unloaded the groceries for me and brought them in the house and helped me set them up on the counter. I filmed the grocery haul and then put a couple of groceries back up, went to pack his lunch, and threw up again. So it's like I'm having these spells of normalcy between the throwing up, which has been really nice because usually I've been just nauseous 24/7, and even like standing there, I'm super nauseous and feeling like I'm about to throw up. I'm having more actual throwing up sessions, but I'm having more times in between where I feel relatively normal. I also did get groceries, so I got a bunch of like carb things, and I've been snacking on these this morning. Honeycomb. I did get some Lucky Charms, and I can't wait to dig into those, but I was just not feeling it after throwing up a couple of times, so I've just been kind of munching on these. I have them sitting next to me in case I feel bad again. But like sitting here, I have a little like resting level of a little bit of nausea, but nothing super severe. It's just now more coming in those big waves in the morning where I just have to throw up. That's just not been fun, but I think it's better than just being all day completely 100% miserable. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and start down the questions, even though that answered some of my questions. We are in week 9 and baby is the size of a cherry, so about 1 inch. And I was looking on my app, it shows you like the 3D representation of the baby, and it looks mostly like a baby now. And also this week, you stopped calling it an embryo and now it's a fetus. So I'm very excited to hit that milestone as well. As far as new symptoms, the 2 migraines were definitely new. And then all the stuff I talked about regarding the morning sickness being more of like a real morning sickness where I'm really sick in the morning and by the evening, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I've definitely noticed the last couple of days not being so nauseous in the evening, but it was especially apparent last night when smells started actually smelling good and I really actually wanted to eat dinner for the first time. And the newness also also is the throwing up so much. There were a lot of weeks in previous weeks where I only threw up a couple of times a week, and now I'm throwing up a couple of times a day. Then I have two more new symptoms. One is my pillow is driving me nuts. I am really like possessive of my pillow. I like to travel with it. I just like the pillow that I like, and I don't like other pillows. And now I just can't stand my pillow. I'm gonna have to buy a new one because I've tried all the other pillows in the house and I can't stand any of them. So I'm on the hunt for a really good pillow. I use one that's more like a Tempur-Pedic, so it like holds the form of your head a little bit and then it'll bounce back up as you move around. If you have any recommendations for really good pillows, let me know what you use because I'm in the market and I have just been having some really crappy sleep because I'm so uncomfortable with the pillow. It just kind of is I think it's too firm now, and even the softer pillows, they're just not working. I just need something new. So I want something that will, you know, hold its shape but also be a little bit soft, and that's a hard thing to find. Usually if they're really soft, you just kind of sink into them and they lose their shape. And so I need the recommendations for that. I'm on the hunt now to find something. My sleep problems the last couple of days have definitely been related to my pillow being uncomfortable against my head. And my other related symptom is I've been having the crazy dreams. And I told you guys last week I had a couple of dreams about a baby boy. Those have continued, and I've also had some really crazy dreams like I'm back in high school, but my same knowledge, my same person, but now I'm in high school and it's like the same people from high school, and it's really bizarre. And so I'm living through these high school random dreams. They're crazy and they don't make any sense, and I wake up thinking, what the heck just happened? And then also going with that, the baby boy dreams I've been having the same exact baby boy dream, just alternating one thing. So in the dream, we have our baby boy and we name him a name of one of my high school crushes. So I have a couple of high school crushes. I name the baby one of those names, and everybody I know gives me crap about naming the baby after my high school crush. So that's the dream, and it alternates between the high school crush's name. So one time it'll be this name, the next time it'll be the other name, and it's the same dream. Like people are like, I can't believe you named your baby after this guy and all these things. And obviously all those names are off limits, even though I really do like the names, but I have just had this dream over and over. Like every single night I keep having the same dream, which is really bizarre. So it's just kind of funny like what my mind dreams up. Of course it's, you know, all hormone related. Luckily this week I have not had as much of the poopy problems as I did last time. I have had to take the Zofran a couple of times, and that can cause constipation. So I think that's helping make it so I don't have the poopy problems the other way, which has been actually very nice to not have to deal with that. So if it's not coming out one end, it's coming out the other. And I hope to be over all of this stuff in the next couple of weeks. I hope that everything will calm down a little bit, because like I said, with the migraines, I just got to that point where like, why is this happening? Why am I so miserable and feeling kind of down about it? And over the weekend, basically Johnny took over. They spent the whole weekend together. I was just resting on the couch or in the bed or throwing up, and it was just really miserable for me. And while they were gone, I ugly cried because I couldn't, you know, be a part of the family. And I'm gonna get emotional like thinking about it, but I just, you know, I want to be there. I want to be able to enjoy the weekends with my little girl and my husband. And when they're out having fun without me, I just felt like I was kind of failing them. And I know they were totally fine. They had a great time together, but I just wish I was there too. In the neighborhood, there's walking trails that I just have not been able to enjoy yet. I just, you know, I can't walk that much without feeling like I'm gonna throw up everywhere. So they go on the walking trails without me, and I haven't been able to explore the creek or anything yet. And it's just been kind of bumming me out the last few days, especially this weekend when they're spending the whole weekend together and I can't be there and enjoy it with them. Basically, they spent one of the whole days together, and then Johnny called me while they were coming back because they were gonna go get ice cream, and I was feeling well enough to go with them to get ice cream, but that's basically like all I got to do this weekend. I played, you know, quiet stuff inside with Olivia. We colored and we watched some shows together here and there, but for the most part, it was just them hanging out, and I hate that. I hate being back in that place, like, you know, when I had really tough migraine times where I just couldn't participate in life, and it brought some of those feelings back. So it was a tough mental week for me dealing with that, but I'm really, you know, like I said, I'm really hopeful that I'm coming out of that and things will continue to improve from here. And I would take the bouts of nausea and having to throw up over the 24/7 feeling like I'm gonna throw up any day. Like being able to just throw up and start feeling better has been great the last few days, honestly. So much better than me feeling like I'm about to throw up all day long. So I hope that it continues, and I hope I get rid of the throwing up part of that. Then I'll be set. As far as cravings, I've been craving Lucky Charms all week, and I finally got some today. I'm gonna have some after filming this video if my stomach is still feeling all right. I've still been craving the red meat and the Asian food, and I've also been craving yellow squash. I got some last week and I got some more this week. I just love it. In my meals video, you'll see I just saute it with olive oil or avocado oil until it's like mush basically, and it's just really good like that. It's totally disgusting looking and it sounds kind of disgusting, but it's really good. You get these brown caramelized edges from the sauteing, so some of it's a little bit crispy and then most of it's mushy, and it just tastes really good. And especially I've been putting a little cheese on top. It makes it delightful. And then as far as aversion, most smells are still really repulsive to me, but especially we bought this loaf of French bread this morning. I was filming the grocery haul and getting whiffs of this French bread, and I think that's what ended up making me throw up. Smelling this French bread and it being so overpowering. And I usually like French bread and I usually like the smell of it. And Johnny went on and on about how great the bread smelled. It was smelling up the whole kitchen. And I was like, yeah, I think that's why I just threw up, because I smelled the bread and it smells gross to me. My weight is 171, which is up 1 pound from last week, 4 pounds overall. And I've had so much salty stuff that I feel like a lot of it's just water retention, water weight right now. No new discoveries for me this week. As far as comparing this to Olivia's pregnancy, I went back to watch my week 9 video, and it was funny. That was the week I mentioned I had craved Chick-fil-A. I knew I craved Chick-fil-A with Olivia's pregnancy, and still sounds totally repulsive to me at this point, but that was the week I mentioned I finally was craving it strongly enough, and I found out we didn't have a Chick-fil-A in Champaign when I was pregnant with her. Also in that 9-week video, I bragged about Johnny, and I had a funny story about him following me around with a piece of cheesecake just in case I got hungry. It was really cute to like watch it back. He used to call me Preggers when I was pregnant with Olivia. He hasn't been calling me Preggers this time, but he has been making really funny jokes. I've actually been really hard on myself, and he's been the one like, you know, it's okay. We've got everything handled. I can handle everything. You just, you know, grow the baby and don't worry about things. And I've been really taking it hard, especially these last few days. Like, I can't do anything, and I'm getting really frustrated with my body because I can't do anything about it. And like I said in the other week 9 video, he's just my rock. He keeps me grounded, and he does add a bit of humor to the situation, especially when I'm getting myself worked up over it. He really, you know, is the voice of reason and tells me to relax and that it's not as bad as I think it's gonna be. But he really has just totally taken over. Very similarly to in the week 9 video, I was like, wow, I could have said all this this round too. He has taken over the dish duty completely because he doesn't want any smells like lingering in the kitchen. So he washes the dishes like as I'm cooking, and then after dinner he washes all the dishes and makes sure there's no smells left in the kitchen. And he makes sure that I have a drink and like a little snack. He made sure I had the honeycomb cereal this morning, and he's just completely taken over. And he's asked multiple times, like, do you want me to drop her off at school? Because he knows the mornings are tough. He's just absolutely been amazing, and I can't say enough great things about him. So the best thing is just him taking over, so I really just don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about Olivia at all, and I could just really focus on not throwing up. And then the worst thing always is going to be the migraine. If I have a migraine day, it's going to be the worst part of the week. On the agenda this week is to get those moving vlogs up, and by the time you see this, the moving vlogs will have already been up, so I will link to them down below. It is a 3-part thing, but it's going to get you guys caught up to where we are now. So I'm really excited to dive into like real-time videos starting next week. Really fun to do more real-time things. I do have some major questions I want to answer for you guys in separate videos, which will start popping up next week. As far as like my scheduling goes, I'm doing the grocery haul videos, the meals videos as I can handle doing them. If I'm not going to cook a whole lot, I won't have a meals video for you guys. Also the pregnancy updates, and I want to answer one of the major questions that I have, or do one sort of pregnancy or motherhood related topic a week. So hopefully my whole channel won't become just pregnancy. I'll probably do some organizing type videos trying to get this house set up, because as you can see, like, haven't done anything. It's just been like me in survival mode most of the time. And I don't have any questions this week aside from ones I'll answer in separate videos, but I had one question that I thought of that you guys might want the answer to. So I wrote one down. How has Olivia been since she found out? So Olivia's been awesome. She'll just kind of bring up the baby every once in a while, and it's really cute how she does it. Sometimes she'll just say, you know, her baby brother and like call the baby baby brother. And sometimes she'll just call it my baby, which is actually really, really cute. So on the way to school this morning, she just all of a sudden says to me, "Mommy, will my baby eat food when it's born?" And she wants me to tell her. So we walk through, you know, babies drink mommy's milk or they drink milk from a bottle. And then when they're about 6 months old, they can start eating baby food. And then from there, you know, they start eating real food once they get a little bit bigger. And so we've talked about this before. She can basically tell me the thing, but she was starting the story by asking me, do babies eat food when they're born? And it was cute how she said, will my baby eat food when it's born? She calls it my baby or baby brother. And in the beginning, she called it baby sister, and now she calls it baby brother. So it's just really cute. She'll say these things. And in the car when we were talking, she said she was going to teach the baby how to poke ants, because that's something she likes to do. She'll poke anthills with a stick, and it was cute to hear her talk about that. And she says she wants to share her scooter and her sticks with the baby, which I thought was sweet. It's just really cute to watch her brain work and to have her be able to figure out, you know, more things about baby. Another thing she said in the car, she says, I'm so excited to see my baby brother. And I was like, we don't know if it's baby brother yet. She said, yeah, we have 1 more month until baby's here. And I was like, nope. I keep telling her we have 1 more month until we find out if it's a baby brother or a baby sister. And she takes that as 1 more month until it's born. It's just been really fun to talk to her about it and hear her thoughts on it. So she's so far really excited to be a big sister and telling me all the things she wants to do with baby. She definitely understands that baby's gonna be teeny tiny and can't do anything yet. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna show you my belly. Her puzzle's like all over the floor here, so I'll try to be careful scooting it back. I'm gonna squish her big puzzle. But there it is, nothing exciting. I don't think it's hardly any different, just super round and really, really firm in here. And that could be too, because I'm also constipated. But this all feels really, you know, starting to feel really firm in there, especially down low. I feel lots of firmness. So there's bump. Mostly just bloating and stuff. One other thing I forgot to mention, I am wearing the same like 4 pairs of pants because they're the only ones that don't put any pressure on my stomach. And I feel like when there's pressure on my stomach, it makes me want to throw up even more. So I've been wearing the same ones. I am gonna have to go get some maternity clothes so I can change it up and not wear the same things over and over and over. So I might have maternity pants this time next week. But anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, leave your questions down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day. Bye. I am adding this into my week 9 pregnancy update. I had just filmed it, totally forgot that I had ordered these. I really appreciate your recommendation, Amanda. As soon as she recommended these, I looked them up and ordered them immediately on Amazon. They are Preggy Pop Drops, the natural way to ease morning sickness. So all the flavors sounded really good because I'm all about the sour things right now. So I'm gonna give those a try. And I also picked up C-bands. I don't know if they actually help or not, but I've looked also into acupuncture. If I can't get any relief from the nausea, I will go ahead and make an appointment at the place I found. So I'm gonna stick these on my wrists and hopefully the little pressure point will help with the nausea as well. So between these two, hopefully I can get a little bit extra relief